Some very important goals in the closing stages of the campaign from the Belgian Leandro Trossard. Every winning team needs a top goal scorer. Victor Gyökeres chipped in with 21 goals in all competitions in his debut Arsenal campaign.
Better and better as the season's gone on. Since the turn of the year, his goal-scoring record has got better.
Another who missed much of the season through injury, but happy his late cameo. Kai Havertz's winning goal against Burnley last Monday. In the end, that sealed the deal. Gabriel Martinelli, who had a scorching counter-attack today that would have been one of the assists of the season. A Premier League winners' medal for the Brazilian. And one of the few in the Arsenal squad who's got a few of these medals at home already. Gabriel Jesus, who contributed the know-how. He was the living proof that it could be done. At Selhurst Park. How fitting that this is the stage for Eze today.
Yeah, popular in the hearts. There's many Crystal Palace supporters staying back to watch him get his medal and get his hands on the trophy.
FA Cup winner last season, Premier League winner this time round. At both ends of the pitch, defensive and creative attacking, Declan Rice has been the fulcrum of this Arsenal Premier League victory.
Absolutely, doesn't but he has led the team forward, driven them with determination.
Bukayo Saka hoping that along with Rice, he's got a big summer ahead of the World Cup. The touches, the vision, those glorious shots across the penalty area, and there are few players more popular with the Arsenal fans than Bukayo Saka.
Just look at his face, how much it means to him.
Julian Timber, who has faced a race to be involved in the closing stages of the campaign. But what energy he has brought to this Arsenal team. There was a lovely return today. First appearance since January after injury for the Spaniard, Mikel Merino. Now, the last Arsenal captain to lift the Premier League trophy was Patrick Vieira, and that was 8,044 years ago. For more than 2 decades, Arsenal tormented in their pursuit of this moment. Emmanuel Mecha will hand the trophy to Odegaard. A season spent on the precipice of dreams. All the near misses, all the broken promises. Where they are right now, and the journey it has taken them to get here. The long and winding road to bring the title home. For 22 years, the old Arsenal artillery has lain silent and dormant, gathering dust, gathering doubt, but this season has lit the fuse. After 22 years of gloom, it's about to go boom! The Arsenal cannon fires again! 22 years of wait. Arsenal roar like it's 2004. Premier League champions for the 4th time. This is Arsenal's 14th league title overall. Only Liverpool and Manchester United have more.
Congratulations to that man, Mikel Arteta, his backroom staff, all his players and everyone associated with the football club. They have shown a fierce determination to win this season. Questioned, can they get over the line? Well, they've done it with a steeliness, a defensive structure and no lack of quality.
Maybe Arsenal were afraid before. They're not afraid anymore. The belief this will bring, and what a springboard it could be towards a double in a Champions League final next weekend.
Yeah, still plenty to look forward to for this group. They'll enjoy this moment, and then they've got a week on the training ground to get themselves ready for their assault on the Champions League.
Well, what a moment that is for Mikel Arteta. Heartache, 3 years on the bounce, but back he's come with his staff and his players and led his club to that moment. The last man to do this as the captain of Arsenal was Patrick Vieira, watching on these scenes at Selhurst Park, where of course the subplot is he used to manage in the Premier League as well, and you know what this feeling is like. I mean, is it possible to put into words what they're going through right now?
It is a big achievement. It's really tough, really difficult to win in the Premier League, and especially when you have this type of. In our time, it was more Arsenal or Manchester United, and this time you have City, you had Liverpool, you had Chelsea. So I think the competition is more difficult now because there's more teams who are capable of winning the Premier League. That's why I think it's look at the face of the Arsenal players, the fans. They was expecting it for quite a while, and there's so much happiness and well-deserved victory.
Listen, you won a double in your 2nd season at Arsenal. When you've won something, when you've got over the line that this set of players and manager have now, can that be a springboard? What's the psychological change?
I think in the last couple of years they built the belief and the confidence. They built stability in the teams, and I believe that they will be the teams to beat next year. I don't think there will be a lot of changes of players next year. I think the base of the team will be the same. Knowing Mikel, maybe he will bring 1 or 2 players just to fresh a little bit the dressing room with the new faces. But they look really solid this year. Difficult teams to score against. Really strong defensively. And when you win it once, the confidence go to a different level. And the big challenge for them now is to see if they can win it 2 in a row, because we wasn't capable of doing it. We didn't do it, our generation. And the challenge for them is try to win it back to back. And I think that will be a successful generation.
Before we come back to Patrick, their new anthem, we've heard a lot of it this week, understandably so, from Tuesday night. This is the moment for the Arsenal squad and staff to enjoy. Subtle changes that Mikel Arteta made. They each took a turn in lifting the trophy there. There's so many subplots, Patrick, but I must ask you about one of them. Eberechi Eze, who of course you managed at Crystal Palace, we know was a lifelong Arsenal fan. We wondered if he'd ever leave Crystal Palace. His first season as an Arsenal fan to end with lifting this trophy.
No, our time at Palace, his head and the only team that he has on his mind was Arsenal. He was a big Arsenal, and his dream was to play for Arsenal Football Club. And that was the right move for him, because it was important for him to really understand the demand of a high level football. He's had all the attributes. He's technically and really good, really gifted. He understands the game quite really well, but sometimes he needed a little bit more pressure to perform. And going to Arsenal, he needed to fight to get a spot. He needed to perform, he needed to score goals, he needed to make assists. And he did it. He had a difficult period where he started a couple of games on the bench, but he understood that he needed to do more. And I'm glad because he enjoyed his football and he became a really important Arsenal player.
Wonderful scenes. They're able to enjoy it with those supporters who are fortunate and lucky enough to be there. The group shot, the staff shot, the family shot, they're all in there. Mikel Arteta constantly talks about the Arsenal family that's got them to this success. And of course, they have their hands on the trophy. Do you agree with Patrick now? Is this the ultimate test? They've got a taste of it. Can they go again? Can they retain it? Will they be the team to beat next season?
Well, they absolutely look that way. They're getting better and better. They're not an ageing squad, are they? And I think they'll look at some of what's gone on over the last few years as well, the change that Man City have had to make over the last couple of seasons, the changes that Liverpool did make last season, and what's it resulted in? It's resulted in inconsistency. So I think the best way to go and retain it is to keep the vast majority of this, maybe add another face if required. But you search around the world, what player can make this team better at the moment? It's very, very difficult. So there's no point just forcing it, no point just spending money for the sake of it. Yes, if a brilliant centre forward came in, go and get him, absolutely. But don't just bring players in to be squad players. They've already got a big, strong, quality squad. They're getting better. I agree with Patrick. I don't think there'll be many changes over the summer, and I think they'll be the team to beat again next season.
And when you think about it, Jermaine, you look at young Max Downham there for next season as Mikel Arteta gets thrown in the air. You look at the likes of Miles Kelly. You look at Gyökeres, who you and I watched close up in the North London derby. You would think they'll all be much better again next season in the current squad.
Gyökeres, I think for him, as a centre forward to come into Arsenal with that much pressure. And he didn't start well, to be honest, and there's a lot of questions asked of him. But again, to show that character, to still score goals, to be a handful, and to work and run, as a manager, that's all you could ask for, really. Because eventually, what happens is when you work hard, you get rewarded. You get your luck, and then he got a little bit of momentum. He got confidence. He scored goals. But I do feel like next season it'll be a lot better. Patrick said that to me just before. A lot of the players, when you come in at any club, you don't always hit the ground running. And I think now that he's got a taste of this, all these players, they're going to want it again, which is normal. But yeah, you have to respect what they've done this season. It's such a. I think on reflection, from Mikel Arteta, in terms of the play, you don't need to bring too many in. But I think you look at him and be like, you know what, we're hard to beat, difficult team to beat. But next season, can we score more goals? Can we create more? And there's something for the staff to work on. But in terms of being hard to beat first, that's the most important thing for me.
Selfie sticks are out, rightly so. They all want to sample every single second of this. Meanwhile, at the same time, Mikel Arteta, of course, was assistant to Pep Guardiola. He saw him then deny him title after title in the last 3 years. But a big goodbye is officially underway at the Etihad. It wasn't a winning send-off, but we'll let him off with that after 20 trophies in 10 years. All his family there today as well, including his 92-year-old father. And he said this was going to be the ultimate test when he saw all the supporters. And there he is, Guardiola Senior, watching on. Pep Guardiola's decade, and a decorated decade at Manchester City, officially over. And he's just trying to compose himself as well before he says a few words. What a word for him, though. Patrick, after all he's gone through, Mikel Arteta, we can see what it means to him. We know what it means to him, but the long hours, the disappointments, and how he's changed the culture at your former club.
Yeah, I think great manager always make the right call and the right decision. I think the last couple of years, big names, players left the club because he felt that there wasn't really part of what he wanted for Arsenal Football Club, so he makes some tough decisions. He brings players with more team mentality, and he really build a successful team on and off the field. I think when you look at those images and you look at when they went through those difficult periods, they always managed to stick together. And I think this is a good sign, and it's a sign from the manager as well. And you can see the togetherness in this team. I think that allowed them to go through those difficult periods. You know, when you let Aubameyang leave or you let Lacazette leave, who were quite big figures at Arsenal at that time, you can see the direction that he wanted to take, and is really the brain behind how to build that successful team of Arsenal.
Normally we're seeing shots of a Haaland or a Salah, but actually that shot of those three, Michael, really is a big part. Not now Marino's in it, but Saliba and Gabriel with Raya was a big part in this title success.
Well, absolutely. You look back on the season and you think, well, where did Arsenal win it? How, you know, and you'd say that the manager was absolutely brilliant consistently. He's probably felt the pain of the last few years. He's created that culture, and the players have followed him. But then after that, you'd have to say that their goalkeeper and their defence added to that, maybe Declan Rice, but that structure, very difficult team to play against. They haven't outscored everyone, they've not blitzed the league by any means. Another thing you would have to say is the set pieces. They've been absolutely fantastic set pieces. They push the boundaries sometimes, but they have worked at their advantage, and you know, and that's the game. If you can get any edge, then you've got to take it. So they've done a lot of good things this season. Patrick mentioned a little while ago that, you know, that might have to change slightly. You might have to, you know, bring in more goals. You might have to attack a different way. Maybe people will find you out. You might be able to not score as many goals from set pieces. So it might be a new sign. It might be a different way to play. Pep Guardiola has been doing that for years and years and years, finding a new angle, a new way. People work you out in this game, and all of a sudden you've got to find something else. So that's what Arteta will be thinking about next. But for the next week or two, he's just got the Champions League to obviously think about, and then he's got all summer to think about what little tweaks he needs to make.
Oh, we've said many times, haven't we, covering these games, Jermaine, whatever team he's picked, look at that bench, look at the players who aren't even on the bench, look at the depth that he now has, and that's been proven by winning the Premier League and going all the way to the Champions League final.
And it's having the right characters in the building, players that understand the rotation, players that understand that, you know, you're on the bench, but at some point you're going to come on and change the game. You know, you're going to come on and impact to the game. The finishers, I think he called it, not just the subs. And I think when you've got that, and you've got everyone pulling in the right direction, you've got that sort of like harmony and that togetherness, that must be very pleasing for a manager. And everyone's played their part, and it's all worth it at the end of it. When you have moments like this, when you're lifting a trophy in front of your friends and family and the fans, and everyone that supported you over the course of the season. Yeah, it's a special moment for these group of players, and you know, they deserve all the credit.
I think those players playing 4 competition this season plus the international, so there's a lot of games, a lot of traveling. And obviously when you miss a player, it's important to replace him with somebody at the same quality and the same level. And I think this is what Arsenal had in the team. 26 players. You don't miss those players who are injured. We can see Timbers, who the last couple of games didn't play a lot, but you don't miss him as a player because the one who playing behind is as good as him. So I think to build that team allowed you to be successful in the Premier League and allowed you to be in the Champions League final.
And Mikel Arteta enjoying the moment there with his family. Let's nip back to Selhurst Park on our team. Will has plenty of people with him.
I do. We've just got 2 guests for us now. None of you go next to Mikel over here. Look, huge congratulations, guys. You're not allowed to say, Nonny, that you can't put this into words. Describe what is going on in there right now.
Man, it's an unbelievable feeling. First season at this great club, and yeah, I believe from when I joined, to be fair, that this season was going to be special. And yeah, this is the first one down. The Premier League after how long? So it's an amazing feeling, amazing to share it with the fans and our families and stuff. And yeah, we got one more to get as well. So,
Mikel, so many people said you couldn't do it. They doubted you. You proved them all wrong.
Yeah, absolutely. That was our main motivation. You know, this club, these fans, this team has been fighting very hard during long years, long seasons without trophies. And yeah, finally we brought them some joy and happiness, and we are very happy for them. and also for all those people that said that we couldn't do it. That motivation gave us an extra, and we showed it, and here it is.
Nonny, I mean, first of all, congratulations, thank you, we're all so proud of you. But I just got to ask, the connection you have with the fans and Mikel, I just see this unity. I mean, just speak about this fans, because you want to, celebrate them, of course, I get that. But they're just incredible, isn't it? Honestly, I have no words.
Arsenal fans are so passionate about their club. I think that's something that everybody knows, and it's been so hard for them coming close on multiple occasions, and we're just so happy that we were able to do what I think this team deserved, even earlier than this year, but sometimes that's how things fall into place, and it's amazing that we've got over the line, and it's for everyone to just enjoy themselves. Everyone should have so much fun with it. Everyone should milk it for as long as they can, and I want everyone to just enjoy the moment, because it's amazing what we've achieved all together.
Guys, as a former player, just want to say congratulations. I wanted you guys to have the same joy that we had as players back in the day, and now you found it. It's brought us a tremendous amount of joy. My two lads are in the stand there today, so congratulations for that. Mikel, special word for you, that goal you score at Newcastle, how important was that to our season? And we were 1-0 down there and you get the equalising goal. Tell me about that.
Yeah, I mean, that was a great goal, great feeling in a tough stadium, in a very difficult situation. And I think that game set the tone for us. Coming back against Newcastle at St James's Park is very hard. And for me to be able to, help the team, it doesn't matter the role, it doesn't matter the context. As soon as you are on the pitch, you have to be ready to make an impact. I think I did in that day. Many players have done it throughout the season, and that's the key. Everyone has had their moments, and this is what a team is. Everyone's ready in every occasion.
I thought it was a big loss for us when you got injured. Your ability to play as a centre forward, to sit in midfield. But Nonu, you surprised me the most. Remember at the beginning I said one or two of the fans weren't sure, but you've done an incredible job. You're now going to a World Cup, you win the Premier League. You've really made a mark at this football club already.
No, thank you. I appreciate that, first and foremost. And it's a dream come true to go to the World Cup, dream come true to win the Premier League with the team. And we have an incredible team, like Mikel said, like a team where you can put anyone in and they can perform to a really, really, really high level. And obviously it's my first season. Next season will be better, and the seasons to come as well, God willing.
It's not over yet, fella. We have a big game coming up next weekend.
But sure, it's not over.
We need to relax, enjoy, but get angry. And go and win something that we weren't capable of doing in our time at the club.
Get Keown in the dressing room to do the team talk. Show us your medal, guys, before we say goodbye. Look at that. Get back in there, enjoy the celebrations, and a massive game in Budapest. We wish you all the best of luck. Well done, Nonny. Well done, Mikel. Back to you, Steve.
Gents, thank you very much indeed. Yeah, special when it's been your first season at the club, or whether you've been there longer than that. I mean, does the adrenaline kick in at this moment? Is it almost impossible? It's only the next day you take in all these scenes in this moment as an Arsenal player?
They have to keep in as long as they can. They have to embrace that moment. They have to enjoy that moment. They have to take pictures. They have to take videos. That is a good relief, because they work so hard for it. And now they have to enjoy that moment, because we never know. But of course, there is the big game in the Champions League where they will have to get their focus back. But today, and I think tomorrow, is all about enjoying that moment, because through the season, 38 games, it's not easy to finish at the top at the end. And they did it, and that is why they have to enjoy that moment.
And the ones who've been there the last 3 years, Patrick, probably had some self-doubts. Are we ever going to get to this moment with the knockbacks?
Yes, there's doubt, because you finish it second and City is there, and City always manage to win the title. You have doubts, but they learn from those moments. And what a fantastic history for the player here.
I mean, this guy's had the GCSE exam this week and got a Premier League medal in the same 7 days.
And I hope there is a lot to come. He's still really young, and he's surrounded by top professional players who I think he will learn a lot, and hopefully there's more to come.
Are they the team to beat next season for you?
Oh yeah, 100%. And also, I think they could take advantage of Pep Guardiola. not being at City. Of course, there's other teams, like Patrick said about the Chelseas and all the other teams that are capable of winning the Premier League. But yeah, this is the team to beat. They don't give you anything when you play against them. Defensively, they're so strong. I can imagine, when they look back in certain games, they'd want to score more goals. But at the end of the day, it doesn't matter how many goals you score. You score one, you get 3 points. So it's like, they're going to enjoy this moment and then focus on the Champions League. Can they get their hands on that as well?
Yeah, remember, only 3 teams have won the Premier League and the Champions League in the same season, but they could really make history with that. But in terms of the Premier League, Michael, just to round it up, they have been consistent with second, first. So there's no reason to doubt that they're going to be the ones to beat next season.
No, exactly. They're going to set the marker, aren't they? I can't imagine they're going to drop off. I can't imagine they're going to make mistakes. I can't imagine they're going to make wholesale changes. I don't think they rely on anybody in particular. Of course they've got good players. Their keeper's brilliant. 2 centre-halves brilliant. Declan Rice. If any of those gets injured, of course it'll have an effect. But they're not as reliant as City on Haaland or Liverpool on Salah. They're not as reliant on players like that. So they can probably take a couple of injuries. So definitely the team to beat. They're going to be consistent. You'd think they're going to get at least mid-80s in terms of points. It's going to take a really good performance from another team to go and beat them. And I can't see who that team are at the moment. Everybody seems to have question marks against them.
Absolutely. Well, what a day, what a season. Patrick, great to have you with us to enjoy that as well. Jermaine, good to see you. Have a good summer as well. And Michael, thank you very much indeed. As always, where did those 380 games go? But it's all ended in a sea of red and white, and the 22-year wait is over. Arsenal, congratulations, you're Premier League champions. I know what you're thinking. When are you back? In 90 days. Don't worry, we'll see you then.